Let's talk about how to design your own video studio. So I like to approach this from 3 different levels, because obviously you look at this and this is literally a rented space that we're in. This is not my home office. I don't have a sweet bookshelf or a ladder just hanging out in my room anywhere. But there's 3 different levels that I see as far as having a video studio to film all your content in. And the first one is a studio with no budget. So this literally means you're not gonna spend any money on anything, but just use what's existing. So oftentimes what that looks like is your current office. Maybe your office is on your couch. Maybe you're sitting on your bed. Maybe it's a tucked away room in your home somewhere. Or maybe it is an actual office that you have with your employer or with your company. Whatever it may be, there is a space that you can film in that can be removed of all distractions, and you can go and film all your content in without having to spend extra money, because you have your first camera right there in your pocket using your cell phone, or using your webcam as well, because you can record videos, you can record even your course content with that no budget. So think of having a video studio without all of the bells and whistles, because you do have one right now. It's currently with you right now. You're using it, you have the opportunity to record in it. So do that. So a second option is to start to invest a little bit more money in your video studio with your current location. And so, like I said, whether that's your bedroom, maybe it's a home office, maybe it's your employer or your own company's office space, find a room that you can dedicate to be a video studio for yourself. And this video studio should take into consideration a few key details. The first one is the sound. And so when it comes to video, over the beautiful image, like, you know, this one right here, we're looking pretty good. Obviously you got like a handsome guy in front of the camera, but what's more important than the visual is what you hear. So if you can't hear me or whoever's presenting in the video very well or clearly, then it's not a great space to film in. Even right now, we're filming in downtown LA in this rented space, and there are some city sounds that happen here and there, so we have to kind of stop recording or wait for horns to stop honking, planes to stop going overhead. But if you find that you're like near a call center and there's tons of phones going off, or maybe you have kids in the next room, if you're in a home office, be aware of having a dedicated sacred space to film your videos. So that way the professionalism can be stepped up and people can actually hear the message you have to share. So keep in mind the audio, like removing any kind of distractions from your space. And so once you have that set apart, make sure you have a comfortable amount of space where there's some depth to your room. When you start to customize your studio space, you want to make sure to kind of show off other things beyond yourself. Obviously the focus and the lighting should be most well lit for the subject, the person who's in the video. But other than that, it's really fun to actually invest into some props as well. And so this is, besides all the video equipment alone, the props that you see in the image. And so in here, you know, you can see a couch, you got a coffee table, bookshelf, books, a window, I consider part of the prop, part of the set, and then the ladder as well, or the rug on the floor. Anyways, there's little details that go into designing your set and making sure it has a nice, clean look. And so I don't recommend, you know, going to film it in a random place in your home that there's distractions, or maybe there's underwear behind you, or there's a toilet behind you, because I've had both happen in videos I've filmed in my bedroom and not realizing, you know, if you're doing DIY or quickly from your phone, like Insta stories, you can get some of those items in your video. But definitely as you're leveling up and going more professional and starting to invest a budget into the design of your studio space, is to consider what the actual background looks like, the props you use. If depth or the size of your room isn't a great option, sometimes what you can do is actually order a backdrop, like of Amazon, and I'll include different options down in the links below. But one of my favorites are literally just paper backdrops by Seamless. What you'll need with them is actually like a stand to help hold them up, or maybe you can get one, put it into the wall. There's solutions for both. But with these paper backdrops, you can either get green, so you can do green screen with that, or you can get other colors like white or gray or a color that's on brand for you. And you can stand in front of those. It's very popular for photography, but even videography too. You can have some great looking clean backdrops behind you. There's also other ones as far as brick goes, or like faux wood, fake wood that you can have set up. Maybe your office already has a great looking wall or backdrop behind you. And then the third type of video studio that you can design or use is literally the space we're in right now. So one of my favorite solutions is a platform called Peerspace, which is kind of like an Airbnb or an Uber of sorts, where you can literally use other people's locations or homes that they put on that platform, and you can schedule them out for the day or for part of the day. So this one we're in is in downtown LA, and we picked this space because we love the photos, we love the look of the bookshelf, the brick, the real brick, the window, the coffee table, the couch. It's something where it's already basically set up for you and ready to go, and all you have to do is come in and get the look you want with the camera gear. And so this does require you to travel oftentimes to get to someone's location, but it's some of my favorite options. We also actually use Airbnb sometimes too, because that home type look is totally on brand based on the client or the videos that we're filming for ourselves. And so I would definitely though talk to the host of Airbnb, because oftentimes they're not expecting people to film in their place. They're looking at more as a place to stay. So it may not work for every single location, but it is a great option to get some beautiful homes and locations to film your videos in, as long as it's on brand. And think of it like this, obviously you're not gonna be necessarily filming a whole movie, like a big movie set, but they have a dedicated person who takes care of just the props alone or the set dressing alone to make their video studio of sorts or their sets look ready for the production. And so you don't have to go to that extent, but I would highly recommend focusing on what keeps your videos on brand. So making sure what shows up behind you isn't distracting, or you don't have photo bombers or what have you to have a professional looking video. Obviously it's a case-by-case basis. Like if you're doing more raw DIY Insta stories or Facebook Lives, there are things that will happen that you can't plan for because you're going live. When it comes to, like I said, leveling up your professionalism, definitely focus on the appearance of yourself and the studio that is shown behind you. Another nice thing to consider too, as far as the budget you may invest into your set or your video studio, is the opportunity for gear to always be set up. So if you have a dedicated office or room that you have for your video studio, then you can literally set up all your gear once and never tear it down, never pack it away. And so that way you can step in and film like that. It doesn't require much setup. You have to turn on the lights, turn on the camera, plug in the card, and make sure that you have the message and the scripts and the story ready to share. But it can make it so easy is to always have something set up, which is an ideal mode, and it's not realistic for everyone. But if you can dedicate a space and even a time of the week or month or year that, hey, this is my filming time, I'm gonna have no distractions, I have my gear set up, then definitely do that as well. If that is not an option, another option is to then set up your gear the day before you actually go to film. So if you're doing it in your home, or maybe you do it in your office space, or in a rented space like this, do your best to set up all of the equipment the day before, because when you set it up right before you actually go to be on camera, there can be a little bit of element of fatigue, meaning you're dealing with technical issues, so you get frustrated. So by the time you go sit down or stand up to film, you're not in the right headspace to actually deliver the message you need to deliver. And so removing that barrier and getting it set up, even if it's just the day before, I highly recommend that for your filming space. So I'll include some recommended solutions for designing your studio, whether that's some of my favorite props, some of my favorite booking spaces, and other non-budget to budget investments that you can make into designing and building your own video studio in your home, in your office, or at someone else's dedicated location. Thanks for watching, and let me know of any questions you have around designing your own video studio, and we'll see you on the next video.